Good morning, everybody. This morning we're flying the Boeing 727 right out of the 60s. We're flying out of LAX, heading for San Francisco this morning aboard a PSA, the friendliest airline in the world. Remember them? They were pretty much the flag-carrying airline for the state of California for about 40 years, though they were eventually absorbed by U.S. Airways and eventually American Airlines. Let's see if we can pull this off today. Let's go inside. Okay, we're inside the aircraft, and our adventure this morning starts in the flight engineer station, right over here. First thing we want to do is get some power going. And we'll come up here and turn on the battery. Cage that. Come down over here to the APU. Turn it to on, lights up, and we want to go to start, and we have to hold the start button for at least a count of 5. And if you look at the temperature gauge, you can see that we're starting to come up. Then we can release the button. And we wait. Our temperature gauge gets up to about 5, we'll be ready. And start. Now we have power. Test our flap lights, everything's good. Test our annunciator panel, everything's good there. Now we're going to come up here and get some light on the situation. Essential power is on APU, that's good. And we have galley power on. Let's move up to the cockpit. Have some lights on. Let's get some light on the situation, and we're going to turn on the beacon and the logo light. Let everybody know we've got a live aircraft. The emergency lights are armed. While we're up here, test that stall warning. That stick shaker's loud, isn't it? We're going to uncage these lights. There, we've got some light on the subject. And now we need to program our flight plan, and I'll be right back with you as soon as we've got that done. Okay, the flight plan's loaded. We've got our passengers loading. We have our fuel already on board. Let's go back over to the flight engineer station and get ready to do this. We're cruising at 35,000 a day. Set our auto flight altitude for 35,000. We're landing at something like 50 feet above sea level, so we're going to move that down, pressurizing to 6,000. Pressurization is on ground. All of our engine bleeds are open. The packs are off for the moment. Cross-checking everything. Alright, let's come back up here and ask for our pushback.
Grounded cockpit, tow is driving up.
Yes, but is it really? As the tow starts to drive up, we come back over here. We're going to start our fuel pumps on. Hydraulic A is on. So far, so good.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Well, connect. Lifting the nose wheel a little bit.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting push back, and you may start engines.
Okay. Let's get the rest of our markers on as we push back into the alley. We'll come up here, and our engine start sequence is 2, 3, 1. We're going to set ground start for engine 2. We're going to come back here, looking for 20% RPM on N2. There's 20%. And put fuel to number 2. Two is starting, and we're going to wait for the low oil pressure light to go out. There it is. Come back up here, and we're going to cage 2. Ground start 1. Watching for 20% on, correction, not 1, 3. There's 20%. Put fuel to 3.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
There's the light out on 3. Cage 3. Start 1. Throw the fuel to it. And it is starting. Then we come back over here.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
We'll turn our essential power to generator 2. Close the electrical bus ties. Turn on hydraulic B. Light goes out. No other lights on. You turn the packs on to get the air conditioning going. And come down here and kill the APU. Now I think we can do without that. Turn on our runway lights. We want to test the fire alarm system. Everything's hunky-dory that way. We'll have our co-pilot set our flaps 20 for takeoff. We're going to look at our V card. Today we want 20 flaps. Our V speeds are 115, also 115. V2 is 127. I want to set the bugs on the airspeed indicator for that. And we need to set our trim at 4.90. So we zoom in here and watch the indicator. That's about good right there. Alright. We have our initial climb out. I'm going to set for about 11.5. We'll pause this and I'll tell you why. Today we're leaving on the Dark 2 departure out of LAX. This is runway 24 left where we're leaving. We're going to hit Delray, NE, Nance, Dark, Fix-It, IK, Ryzen, up to Mickey. The only real problem is here at Dark, we have an altitude restriction below 12,000 feet, and then only 8 miles later, when we hit Fix-It, we have to be above 12,000. So that's the reason for the initial 11.5 altitude setting. It gets interesting, you'll see. Alright, let's drop the brakes and give it a little bit of fuel. Okay, turn the taxi lights off, landing lights on, spool up to about 60%, let the brakes off, and we want about 97%.
Rotate.
Gently rotate. Gear coming up. And we're just hand flying. I'm going to start picking up some speed here. Down to flaps 15. Flaps 5. Two. And 1. We're going to come down here, arm the autopilot, set auxiliary nav, altitude select, and indicated airspeed hold. Start flying our departure. If I pull this up, we'll see hit Dark 12,000 B. We have to stay below that. And again, altitude selected for 11.5, so we'll be fine on that. We want to back the throttles off. We want to climb at about 92%. No auto throttles on this aircraft, so you just got to do everything by hand. Go back to the flight engineer, set our pressurization for flight, shut the lights off. 2 miles. Now I want to select our cruise altitude. We're going to go up to 35,000. We're going to come back down here, altitude select and indicated airspeed, hold again, and bring the throttles back up to a little over 90%, 92. And up we go. Now you see that we're above our 250 mark, so the airplane is putting itself in a nose-up position greater than it can maintain 250 until the speed falls off here. Notice we're back down at 250, and the airplane's going to nose itself down a little bit so that it can maintain the climb to 35,000 at 250 knots. And that's pretty much it till we get to the top of the climb, and we'll see you there.